Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. It's another raid Shadow Legends video. So today we're going to be doing a top 10 epics for clan boss if you don't have a counter attack. So for those that don't know, Stu Damon and I are doing a contest tomorrow. It's our first challenge, first week. I am super psyched to try and win. Basically the challenge is to take on the clan boss at nightmare level with no counter attack and no kind of like quirky comps like unkillable comps. So what I've been doing all week is just tinkering, really, playing with different champions that I've got, leveling them up, throwing different gear sets on, throwing different combinations together. I've been working really well with my Discord guys, so thanks everybody that's had a lot of input. Special call out, I think, for Eldorco, really giving me some great advice. He's one of the mods on my server. I mean, to be fair, there's probably 10 to 12 that have actively pushed different ideas my way. Let me just show you actually just so what we've got in the Discord server now is an area that's just called Stu Gaming Weekly Takedown. Just pinned a few kind of different build ideas, but Ephraim Mikey had some good ideas around leads, damage dealers. Screw had a good few ideas as well. A lot of input from CMAC. Just thanks, guys. Everyone who's kind of got on board with this. It's been really good fun so far. I hope I take down Stu tomorrow. But this video in particular is just calling out some of those champions that we've talked about, why they're in the list, and how they can help you. So building a team which doesn't involve a counter attacker is really different. You have to focus on how do you actually do your damage. And there's loads of different combinations actually that we've played around with this week. But what I'm going to do is break it down into 5 areas and just run through the champions that we found have been best in those different areas. I'm going to start with speed. If you don't have a counter attacker, you've got to move quickly. You've got to constantly rotate those abilities, constantly keep your champions either hitting or staying alive or hitting their debuffs. So there's loads of stuff that you have to take into account, but speed is the first one. And for me, there's 2 champions that kind of stand out as epics for speed champions. So the first one is Golden Reaper. Golden Reaper has got an ability on her A1 to reduce the cooldown of somebody else's skill. So if you've got somebody that you really need to constantly rotate abilities, she can reduce the cooldown of a skill on your team. So it's a bit sketchy. It's a 50% chance when it's booked up that it's going to work, and it's a random ally, so you can't kind of pinpoint where you want that to land. But it's still, for an A1, it's decent. She's got an A2 big version of decrease attack. She's not going to be your primary decrease attack person, but it's a really great secondary decrease attack person in your team. And then the reason she's in there, as I said, for speed. You only need 1 book to land this. And if you just want someone for speed and you land this book first, you might not want to book the rest of her kit if you're short on books, because you probably don't need to. She's got a really good increased speed buff, so 30%, and she's got a very good turn meter boost, 20%. So for an epic, she sits in as one of the speed ones. The other one for speed is going to be High Katoon. So High Katoon, the main difference is, I guess, High Katoon's actually got a speed aura, so you're going to get an extra 19% speed on your base stats. Auras only work on base stats. So most champions, let's say an average champion has got 100 speed as a base, they'll always get plus 19 speed. If you put another 200 speed on them in gear, makes no difference. They still just get plus 19 speed. But still, it's a good aura, especially for an epic. Again, she's got kind of bits to her kit. So this decreased speed on her A1 does nothing in Clan Boss. And this A3, it's an AoE hit and it reduces turn meter. It doesn't work on Clan Boss. She is purely in there if you use her to boost turn meter and keep the increased speed buff on. However, it's really effective to make you do more damage. I would suggest for 90% of teams, have one of those 2 champions to get your best damage output. So that's speed. Let's go on to poisoners. For me, if you just have 1 poisoner in your team, the out-and-out leader of that realm in epics is Occult Brawler. He's a beast. He's one of the best poisoners in the whole game. He can constantly keep poisons up throughout the whole fight. You'll see my challenge with Stu tomorrow. I think I'm going to have debuffs up pretty much all the time. This guy is one of the leaders in that category. So basically, he's just got the main thing that's bonkers. He's got this passive. Every time he gets a turn, he lays he's got 70% chance to lay a big poison for 4 turns. Huge. So if you can imagine, we're not doing a speed tuned team. We're going fast. We get turns regularly. You've got someone like a Golden Reaper boosting your turn meter. You don't need those turns even more regularly. So he's constantly laying those poisons. He can keep the debuff up all day long. Worst thing about him is he's got a base defense which is low, which means it's hard to keep him alive. If you can conquer that, then he's your best poisoner. Now, if you want a poisoner with an off ability, off stats, Steel Skull's your man. So Steel Skull has got a very good poison ability on his A1. He's one of the most well-known epics in the game. He needs to be booked on his A1 to be effective. If he's not booked, he's actually not your poisoner. Go back to Occult Brawler. But what he also brings is a heal which cleanses, so he can cleanse off things like stuns, and he brings increased defense and a heal on his A3. Both of those things are really insanely good for Clan Boss. So Steel Skull comes in as your number 2. What I'm going to do is just pull out one more who I've been playing around with this week. Again, in a speed comp, he's really effective because he's got an ability to boost speed. So he's a poisoner. He's got the big version of poison on his A1. It's a definite place to poison if he hits a crit. So as long as you've got him at 100% crit rate, he'll always place his poisons. He's also got a chance of getting another turn, 15%. There's an argument here to say, what about putting him in Relentless gear? Any champion that's got a chance to get extra turns in Relentless gear, you can spiral extra turns. It's really cool. We've then got an A2. This is the reason why he's potentially your man if you're on a speed team. He's got an A2 that fills the turn meter of all allies. There's an extra speed boost, and it's got a chance of getting an extra crit. And he's got an A3, which is just a 4 hit. So 4 hit on Clan Boss, again, really good. So, and he's also got a chance to ignore defense with that. So if you've got decreased defense on, 60% decreased defense, plus you're ignoring another 25%, you're getting close to the realms of actually hitting true damage, which hits hard. So Marksman is good for a speed team. That's my 3 poisoners. Let's go into utility champions. So I've been playing with a lot this week. There's a number I could call out which I haven't put into this top 10. So I could call out Rearguard Sergeant, I could call out Grizzled Joel, I could call out Jareg, but the 2 that I'm going to put on this list for top 10 for me, one is Miscreated Monster. People sleep on Miscreated Monster for Clan Boss. He's bloody good for Clan Boss. So what does he do? He has got just an A1, it's just going to hit 2 times. None of the rest of that kit works on Clan Boss. This is really why he's in there. So he's got an A2 that puts a shield out, and the shield basically lasts for 3 turns on allies. So in a speed team where you're trying to do damage as quickly as you can, those extra little shields just keep you alive longer into the fight. And then he's got this A3, which brings ally protection for all the team and heals him for half his health. So why is that good? It means that he doesn't have to be in lifesteal gear. You see here, my one I built up, I've got him in Stalwart gear with Immortal. So when he's got his ally protection on, the Stalwart gear is protecting him from another 30% of the damage of all of that team. He stays alive a long time, and then he heals himself with that 50% heal. If you're in a speed team and he's rotating that ability quite quickly, then actually he can keep your whole team alive for a long time into the fight. I've had him in teams this week. I've been doing 20 to 25 million with him without a counter-attacker. Really, really strong chap. Another one which people don't really use or understand, but Catacomb Counselor. I've had a lot of fun with this guy. I'm going to do a full guide on him. I think he's a great champion. I've been sleeping on this guy. I think he's amazing, actually. So he's got an A1, which just increases his own attack. Not much. It's not much of an ability, really. But, you know, it gives him a bit of a damage boost. He's got an A2 where he self-heals for 20% of the damage that he does. It's a free hitter. And then he's got an A3, which is why he's in the team. If he comes in, he attacks with 3 different allies, so he's constantly pushing their damage. If you've got a team of damage dealers like Whisper, or we'll come on to those in a minute. You know, if you've got poisoners, he's helping them land more abilities. Really cool champ, and yeah, a lot of fun actually. He's also good in arena and stuff, but yeah, this is clan boss. So let's go with then the fourth role, decrease attack. So there's a number of people that you can put in a decrease attack role. Therese is the first one that springs to mind. He is very effective at doing decrease attack. The challenge you've got with Therese in a speed team, especially if you're hitting auto, is that you need to make sure he keeps it up. He will use his A3, he will use his A2 before he uses his A1. His A1's the decrease attack. So when you're rotating those abilities over and over, he will go in and use other abilities ahead of the one you actually want him to use. So he's a bit of a flight risk in terms of if that decrease attack falls off, your team wipes, but he's the most effective at doing it, bar one, who I'll come on to soon. So he's got a decreased attack on his A1, he's got a decreased defense on his A2, it's fantastic, and then he's got an A3 that just hits quite hard. So he's definitely in there as a top 10 epic for clan boss. Someone that people probably won't expect, Madame Therese is the #1 champion at landing decreased attack and decreased defense in the epic category. She's the only champion who will consistently keep it up throughout the whole fight without any risk. No risk at all. The only risk is she got enough accuracy. So how does that happen? Firstly, it's the ability that she prioritizes, unlike Therese. So as soon as it's available, she'll use this and it lands both of those abilities at the same time, decrease attack, decrease defense, and it lands them for 3 turns, 3 turn cooldown. It lands them for 3 turns. It's on a 4 turn cooldown. So how do you make sure then it's up 100% of the time? You need her to go 4 times for every 3 turns the clan boss has. She's really great at it. She never misses for me. I've been doing big keys with her this week. She's definitely one of the contenders for team of the week for me. All you need is enough speed to make sure that she lands it. The only letdown for her is that she doesn't hit that hard. So if you're going for pure damage and you're kind of comparing her and Therese will probably do a couple of million more a key than Madame Therese. You're balancing risk of having decreased attack not land, but more damage, versus definitely on, but I might do less damage. So that's the two a way up. And then lastly, somebody who is just in the team for out and out damage, Whisper. You pretty much need her in a Relentless set. Relentless set will help her trigger additional turns. And then she's got within her kit a weaken, so it helps the rest of your team do more damage. She has got an increased attack buff on herself and the chance to ignore defense with her hits. And then she's got this ability here which grants her extra turns if there's defense down and weaken on the opponent. So if all those things are going on, she can actually spiral turn after turn after turn in Relentless gear. She's also got a passive which gives her a chance to just gain an extra turn randomly whenever she does a crit. So again, spirals with Relentless gear. I've seen her do 10, 11, 12 hits this week in a run. I've seen her do 6 million damage plus on her own. She is a damage machine and she completes my top 10 epics. Guys, tune in for the Stu Gaming versus Hell Hades first challenge tomorrow. I'm going to be using 5 of the champions I've just spoken about. I'm not going to tell you which ones, but it's going to be good fun. This is Hell Hades, signing out.